We are rolling.
Good morning. Welcome back to the conversation. This is Midlife Crisis Activities. This is our lifestyles and pop culture webcast, our daily shout out to the world. I'm your host, Patrick Russell, and over there is my very vivacious producer, Veronica. Together, we're here to lend our voices to the noise from a multi-generational perspective to help explain everything that's right and wrong in this world. Happy Thunder Thursday to you, Veronica. We're almost there.
Happy Thursday.
Okay, so doesn't it look like to you like Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra Jonas are living the life at large? I mean, having your cake and eating it too. They just welcomed a brand new baby girl in January. I haven't even seen the name. I don't think they've released the name yet, but they had this baby via surrogacy, which means that they've got the proud parents of a baby girl without any of the trauma, physical or otherwise, that comes with pregnancy. And so now you're seeing this more and more often, especially with these A-list Hollywood stars that really need to protect the body, maybe protect the goods. So you're seeing surrogacy now as a very viable option for the earners, the people that have the means. And if you have the means, I highly recommend it. You're talking about a couple different ways that you can go about it. Right now, you're looking at either having the surrogate mother and it's her body and her egg, and it's just the father providing the sperm for that sort of fertilization. But that really comes with problems. There's custody issues there. There's some issues with the payment. That's not really the way to go. The much more popular way that people are going about this is now doing the gestational surrogacy, which is essentially now you take the mom's egg and you take the dad's sperm, blend them together in the fertilization process, and inseminate it into a third party, the surrogate mother, right? So she's basically just the incubator at that point. But the biological mom and dad of that child being born is still mom and dad, and that makes things so much easier. From a contractual standpoint, what we've read, having a couple of clients that have dabbled in this industry, so we know a little bit about it. I mean, these contracts can get very creative, right? Yep. You're talking about the payments to the surrogacy money could be for pain and suffering, which then allows for a non-taxable situation there. It could be a gift. I've even seen contracts where they were written up where there was like child support pre-birth, which was paid out just so that they can kind of find this cover under this non-taxable umbrella, simply because the IRS hasn't picked up that fight yet, right? It doesn't happen too often, and it's not a party that would really gain a lot of motivation to go after, right? Surrogate mothers that are helping families have children. Nobody really wants to pick up that fight. I think that would be a PR nightmare. But as this industry grows, we will start seeing more individuals audited, those positions and contracts, those creative ones being challenged in tax court, and then from then on, IRC code and rules for gestational or traditional surrogacy will be down the pipeline, but that's another story for another day. Veronica, from a younger generation's perspective and from somebody that has a little seasoning in her sauce right now, how do you feel about the idea of, well, first, surrogacy in general, and between the traditional versus gestational, where we both have something in the blender? How do you feel about what would be best? Your thoughts?
So the more I read into it, I think I'm more willing to do the surrogate.
You really like the way Nick Jonas and his wife went through this, huh?
I mean,
did they make the right choice? I mean, if you have the means, should we go this route?
You know, I had always been very scared of like getting pregnant and then delivering a baby. That's like one of the scariest moments that I can like picture in my head. So probably if I had the option, I'll go ahead and do that. I will avoid the process. And I know for some women probably it might sound a little selfish, but I will avoid or try to avoid the pain and the change in my body, especially, you know, like with all these changes that we have to go through, you know, stretch marks. And this is obviously
the headaches, the nausea, the flat feet, the pain in the back. Oh, that it never goes away.
Delivering the baby.
And then, of course, the delivery.
And the healing
And then me
process.
sitting there watching TV telling you, what are you talking about? What are you complaining about? You're fine.
The healing process, I think I will do that. Now, I don't know how it will feel once I have the baby and not knowing that came out of me. I mean, it's mine because obviously, like you said, they struck the egg, the sperm, and then they blend them together, whatever, and then here's the baby 9 months later, right? So I don't know how maybe I have to look into it and see how those moms feel, like if they still have the connection with the baby.
Oh, I think they do. And I just love the fact that these stars are now being public and vocal about their decision to have kids via surrogacy, because now the social proof will make it easier for the rest of us to feel like it's a natural thing to do, that we can still have a loving parental relationship with our child, even though we had to bring somebody else into the mix. Now, here's the real question that I have for you, Veronica. You know, I am a little older. We've talked about it. 46, no spring chicken here. So we have to do tests. What if it, God forbid, knock on wood, comes back where my swimmers just don't swim anymore, Veronica?
Oh, no.
Would you be okay with going to a sperm bank, flipping through?
Yes. Stop there. Yes. I mean, come on, Patrick. I mean,
6'5", Gronkowski.
Blue eyes.
Oh, Lord, man. Okay, so maybe swimmers, maybe you should take the day off when the test comes back.
I don't want to hurt your feelings, but we have to talk.
I'll get over it.
We have to talk about that, obviously, moving forward. So, I mean, I will do it, I think. I mean...
I think the audience knows exactly where you stand on this, guys. Guys, there's
quick question.
Sure.
Quick question for you. So, I look into this. I mean, not because I wanted to do it, maybe. I mean, who knows? But do you know that you have to have a baby in order for you to apply or get pre-qualified?
Of course. The car has to be test-driven once before anybody else wants to...
I don't think that
you
should be...
don't feel like you should have a fresh... You think it needs to... I was going to say something I shouldn't have said.
I don't think you have to have babies before, because if you do tests and stuff like that, like I know, hopefully I'd be able to like get pregnant, you know, with no issues, but I don't think that's something that I agree with. And
I understand
also the money.
your objection, but I also understand the purpose of it, right? I mean, as a surrogate potential customer, you want the surrogate mother to have proven without a shadow of a doubt that they've been able to have kids without any problems. I think that that's just a basic concern that needs to be answered.
What about the money?
Well,
how
now,
much
okay, so what we've seen in the past, real quick, so now over the course of several years now, we're talking about maybe 6 to 7 years of a window, we've seen the scale change. We've seen it going from $25,000, $50,000. Now we are seeing contracts of amounts of $100,000 plus. So it is a game that we have to be mindful that as this option becomes more popular, and as it becomes more necessary, and doctors are becoming much better at having this procedure done and more families are opting for it, be wary that the IRS is going to step in and start adding some extra rules to make it difficult to call what you get paid anything other than compensation for services. Guys, there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer, but there's definitely your opinion. Please don't just subscribe to the channel, even though we will be doing this back and forth on the daily basis, but lend your voice to the show. It'll make it a whole lot more fun. Guys, remember, it doesn't matter what comes your way today. It doesn't matter what challenges or obstacles that you may face. You just need to remember one thing.
Give 'em hell.
Happy Thunder Thursday, everybody.